Hello guys, I gave an interview in a company called Neosoft and the company location is Mumbai and the interview date was the May 19, 2025. So they asked me interface, why do we you need interface and why do we define a clear contract? Let us suppose define a clear contract. Interfaces specify that methods a class must implement ensuring consistent behavior across different implementations. Enable loose coupling. Code depends on abstraction that interfaces rather than the concrete classes, making the system more flexible and easier to maintain to or extend. Support multiple implementation. Different classes can implement the same interface in their own way, allowing easy swapping without changing client code. Improve testability. Interfaces make it easier to create mock objects during unit testing, facilitating better test coverage and isolate tests, enhance code organization and readability. They clearly design intentions and help teams follow consistent coding standards. Example to explain why interfaces are useful. Imagine you have a notification system. Instead of writing your code directly for mail notification, you define an interface. So interface notifier, public function send message, then create multiple classes implementing it. Class email notifier implements notifier and public function send message. Then you have to create a main class SMS notifier and implements notifier, public function send message and then send SMS code. You your main code depends on a notifier interface, not on specific classes. Function notify user, notifier notifier dollar message, notifier send MSG. This way you can swap email with SMS or add new notifier easily without changing notify users. Why is this important? Make code flexible and extensible, easy to maintain and test, promotes clean architecture and solid principle. Another question they asked me, exceptional handling in PHP. So I have notes for that. So exceptional handling, uh, mainly we use the try catch block for exceptional handling. Let us suppose inside the try block we have statement 1, 2 and 3 and then catch statement 4 and then inside the finally statement 5 and outside of all these statement 6. So case 1, if there is no exception, statements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 normal termination. If an exception raised as statement 2 and the corresponding catch block matched, statement 1, 4, 5, 6 normal termination. If an exception raised as statement 2 which is under the try block and the corresponding catch block not matched, okay, then statement 1, 5 abnormal termination. If an exception raised at statement 4 which is in the catch block, then it is always abnormal, but before abnormal termination finally block will be executed. Case 5, if an exception raised at the statement 5 which is in the finally block or at statement 6 which is outside the this block, then it is always abnormal termination. So conclusion is, within the try block, if anywhere exception raised, then rest of try block won't be executed even though we handle that exception. Okay, within the try block, if anywhere exception raised, then rest of the try block won't be executed even though we handle that exception. Hence, length of the try block should be as less as possible and we have to take only risky code within the try block. Okay, in addition to try block, there may be a chance of raising an exception inside the catch and finally blocked. If any statement raised an exception which is not part of try block, then it is always the abnominal termination. Okay. Third question, they ask me what is the trait in PHP. So PHP does not support multiple inheritance directly because a class in PHP can inherit from only one parent class. The restriction avoids the complexities and ambiguities of the diamond problem which can occur in the multiple inheritance scenario. So for example, trait logger, public function log message, another trait notifier, public function notify message, then class user, use logger and notifier trait, then public function create username, echo use dollar name creator, this log creator user, this notify username has been added. Now create a object user equal to new user, dollar user create user alias. So output will be the output alias created, log create user alias, and notification user alias has been added. They asked me the magic constants. Okay, so constants are automatic. So first of all, they ask me the magic constant. So first of all, what are the constants? So constants are a powerful tool in PHP to define fixed values that remain consistent throughout your script. Constants are defined using the define function or the const function. In PHP, constants are identified or names for the simple values that cannot be changed once they are defined. They are often used to store fixed values that remain in the same throughout the execution of the script, such as configuration values. So key characteristics of constants: immutable. Once defined, the value of a constant cannot be changed or undefined. Global scope. Constants are automatically global and can be accessed anywhere in the script. Case sensitivity. Constants are case sensitive by default but can be defined as case insensitive. Deprecate as PHP 8.00. Defined constants. Constants are defined using the define function or the const keyword. Using define syntax PHP. Define string name, mixed value, bool case insensitive, false. Example PHP. Define site name my website, echo site name, output my website. Case insensitive, depreciate in PHP 8.00. Define greeting hello words true, echo greeting, output hello words. Using const. Introduced in the PHP 5.3, const can be used to define constants but only with the scalar values, that is string numbers boolean. Syntax PHP. So constant name equal to value. Example constant site URL is equal to example.com, echo site URL, output will be the example.com. Difference between define and const. Feature defines. So introduction PHP 4 and PHP 5.3. Scope global scope only. Define used in the PHP 4 and const used in the 5.3. Okay, it started from there. Scope global scope only in the case of define, and constant can be defined in a classes of functions. Allowed value in the case of the define any type string numbers array etc. In the case of const, only scalar values. Case sensitivity in the case of the define, case sensitive option deprecated. In the case of the const, always case insensitive. Usage so can be used dynamically, must be used at simple time. Accessing constant and global access, and constants are accessible anywhere in the script. Let's say you have a defined pi and 3.14 echo pi accessed in class using const in a class. So PHP class my class const greeting welcome to my class, echo my class double colon greeting, output welcome to my class. Using define in a class not directly allowed but accessible globally. So define app version 1.00, echo app version, output 1.00. Magic constant. PHP provides several built-in constants that change depending on where they are used. There are known as magic constant. So magic constant and description. Double underscore line, current line number in the file. Double underscore file, full path and file name of the file. Double underscore dir, directory of the file. Directory of the file. And double underscore function, function name. Double underscore class, class name. Double underscore trait, trait name. Double underscore method, class method name. Double underscore namespace, current namespace. So you can remember it like line, file, dir, function, class, trait, method, namespace. Or magic constant in PHP is a special built-in constant that automatically give you information about the script like file name, line number, function name, etc. It starts with a double underscore and change its value depending on where it used. Here is a simple PHP script from scratch that demonstrate of use of the magic constants. So let us suppose you have a function display magic constant, and inside that you have echo function name and double underscore function, double underscore line, double underscore file, double underscore dir, and then put it in the new lines. Then call the function display magic constant. So the output will be like this: function name display magic constant, file number 5, line number is 5, file path cgem htdoc test neosoft.php, directory cgem htdoc test. Another question they asked me: authentication versus authorization. So authentication is the process of verifying the identity of a user. It checks who the user is. Steps for authentication: login. A user provides their credential, username and password. Verification: the system checks if the provided credential match stored credential in a database or third party authentication services. Token generations optional. Upon successful login, a system may generate a token, that is JWT, to maintain the session or facilitate API access. Example: a user logs in using their username and password. The system verifies the credentials and the grant access of if the information is correct. Example in Laravel: auth double colon attempt mail request mail password request password. Authorization is the process of determining what the user can do after they are authenticated. It controls the permission and access level assigned to the user. Steps of authorization: permission check. After authentication, the system checks if the authenticated user has permission to perform a specific action. Example: view a page, modify a resource, etc. Roles and permissible. In my in many system roles, admin, editor, user define which action are allowed. Permission specify actions. Create, delete, edit that a user can perform. Example: a user may be authenticated, but they might only be authenticated to view their own profile, not the other user's profile. A manager role may allow for editing post, while a guest role may only allow viewing. Example in Laravel: if auth double colon user can edit post, so perform the action. Okay. So the summary of the authentication and authorization. Authentication verifies who the user is. Authorization determines what the user can do. Authentication identify login credentials. Authorization permission the role's ability. Ensure the user is who they claim to be. Authorization ensures the user has the right to access resources or perform actions. Authentication user login in with the username password. Authorization user being assigned role like the admin and editor. Practical use: in a typical web app, authentication would occur first, that is logging in, and authorization would allow to ensure that the authentication user has the correct permission to access specific resources. Another question they asked me: hooks. So in Codeignator 4, hooks are replaced by events. Events in Codeignator 4 are triggered action that executed custom code at specific points in the application's lifecycle, like before or after a controller's run. They help in logging, authentication, and performance monitoring without modifying core files. Events in CodeIgniter 4 are like triggers that let you run specific code at the precise moment before a page loads, after a user logs, without changing the original code. Think of them an alarm you set to perform tasks automatically when something happens. Simple analogy: imagine you have app in the pizza delivery. An event is like saying when the overtime rings event automatically send a text to the customer your custom code. Example to remember: scenario: show a under maintenance page before any page loads. So define the events triggered before and controller runs. Event double colon on pre-controller function if config app maintenance mode. So redirect to maintenance mode exit. How it works: when someone tries to visit your site, CodeIgniter checks the event before loading any page. If maintenance mode is true, it redirects to the maintenance page. Key trigger points easy to recall: pre-system before the app start, pre-controller before a page controller loads, post controller after a page finish loading. So remember, events do this when it happens. So there is no hooks in CodeIgniter 4. It's the events. For example, you have created two files, register and login. Then check register a file, register and login. And you have two database tables, login underscore logs, and you have a login underscore log, and log file is a writable logs 8080 when using the PHP Spark. Okay, so conclusion: added authentication, register login, use hooks event to log login attempts, store login attempts in the database. They ask me what are the helpers and libraries. So helpers are ready-made function to help you perform simple tasks quickly, like the creating links, form, or handling files. How do you use a helper? Load a helper. Tell CodeIgniter which helper you want to use. This load helper URL. Load the URL helper. Use helper functions. After loading, just call the helper functions. Example: using base URL from the URL helper. Echo base URL about. So your website.com/about. Common helper example: URL helper, form helpers, text helpers. Okay, so in the case of the URL helpers, helps create links and manage URL. So this load helpers URL echo base underscore URL home. So this is a URL helper. Form helper helps make form faster. This load helper form echo form open user submit, echo form input username, echo form close. Third is the text helpers, shorten long text. So this load helper text. So echo word limiter. This is very long sentence, and you have written three. So it will show only the three words of the sentence, and then it will show the dot dot dot. Auto loading helpers to always load a help automatically. Edit application config autoload.php and add the helper's name. Autoload helpers and in the bracket URL and form. That's it. Helpers are just tool to make coding faster and easier. How to load helpers? Load a single helpers. Use load helper in your controller or model. This load helper in the bracket URL or whatever helper you are using. Now you can use helper functions like echo base URL about. So it will show the your URL and slash about. Load multiple helpers. This load helpers and in the bracket URL and form. Auto load helpers: if you want to help us to always load automatically, open application config autoload.php, find the section autoload helper equal to nothing, then add your helpers. So autoload helper equal to URL and form. This will load the helper every time the application runs. So that's it. Helpers make your task faster and easier. Then they ask how to declare helper. So step to create and use a custom helper. Create a helper file. Navigate to application helpers. Create a new file. For example, my underscore helper.php, ensure the file name ends with underscore helper.php, write function in the helper inside my underscore helper.php, define your custom function php. If function is not equal to, then greet user, function greet user, user return hello uc first name. Load the helper in your controller or model. This load helper my. Now you can use the greet helper function like this. Echo greet user John, so output will be the hello John. Autoload the helpers optional. Open application config autoload.php. Autoload helpers my. So key points: always use if function doesn't exist function name to avoid the conflicts. Helpers files should not contain classes, only functions. Second is they ask me libraries. So define libraries are the object oriented classes that offer more advanced functionality like session, email, form validation, etc. Nature object oriented class. How to load this load library and inside the session. The load session library. Uses this session set user data name John. Echo this session user data name. Example library in CI session, email, pagination, and form validation. Use when you need to structure the reusable and the stateful component with the methods and properties. So quick revision: helpers and libraries. Procedural functions. These are the helpers, library, object oriented classes. Helper functions only, library classes with methods. Helpers this load helpers, library this load library. Helpers base URL, library this session user data. Helpers simple task, libraries complex reusable functions. Question number 8: routes. Routes define how URL map to the controller and action. So for example, you have a URL example.com, then controller, then method, then parameters. Example example.com, then slash products, then view, then 123. Now maps these things. Controller is products, methods is view, and parameter is 123. Types of routes: static routes, fixed URL pattern. Example routes get home index, maps to home controllers index method. Then dynamic routes, variable URL patterns with parameters. So routes get product slash num product details $1. So this is a dynamic parameter number. Third is the custom routes defined using regular expression. Example routes add product 0 to 9 and 4 products detail slash $1. Match is 4-digit numbers. Question number 9. Last 10th highest salary in MySQL. Select distinct salary from employees. Order by salary disk limit 1 offset 9. Or select distinct salary from employees. Order by salary disk limit 9 and 1. Explanation: distinct salary ensure duplicate salaries are not counted multiple times. Order by salary disk short salaries from highest to lowest. Limit 9 1, skip the top 9 salaries and give the 10th on 10th one, zero based index. They ask me INNODB or MyISAM. So here is a simple breakdown of the 4 MySQL storage engine. INNODB best for application needing transaction data integrity and high concurrency. Key feature: support transaction, reliable data handling, support foreign key, relationship between tables, uses raw table locking, better performance when multiple users are accessible the data, crash recovery to prevent the data loss. ISAM indexed sequential access method best for older system with simple and heavy application. Key features: no transaction, less reliable for complex operations, no foreign key, no relationship between tables, and table level locking, slower if multiple users are accessing data at the same time, obsolete and not common used anymore. Third is the heap memory storage engine, best for temporary fast data storage for caching or intermediate operations. Key feature: in memory storage extremely fast. Data disappears when the server restarts. No persistent data is lost when the system shuts down. ideal for temporary data that doesn't need to be saved. MyISAM, best for read heavy applications that don't require transactions. Key features: no transaction, no guarantee for data consistency. Table level locking, slower if many users access the table at once. Supports full text indexing, useful for searching text. Faster for read operations but not ideal for concurrent writes. Summary: INNODB best for the application needing transactions and data safety. ISAM, old engines, no transaction or relationship, rarely used today. Heap, fast temporarily in memory storage for quick operations. MyISAM, good for the read heavy application but lacks support for transactions. Another question they ask me: product table and two column product name and category name. Find out total category using the MySQL query. Okay, so the query, you have two tables: products, you have the table called products. Okay, now you can make a query: select count distinct category as total category and from products. Okay, so it will count the distinct category name. Life cycle of the code igniter, they ask me. So index.php is loaded, the starting point of the application. It sets up path and environment settings. Routing, the request is passed to the router, which checks the URL and decides which controller to run. Controller is called, the controller is the main handler. It receives the request, talks to the model if needed, and decides what to show. Model optional, if the controller needs to get data from a database, it uses the model. View is loaded, the controller loads a view to show the final output like HTML. Responses is sent to the browser, the final result from the view is sent back to the user's browser. Diagram, simple view. Index.php, routers, controller, model, view, browser. Summary, code igniter process a request starting from index.php, then routes it to the correct controller, then models to fetch data, then sends it to the view, and finally display the results. So it will start from the index.php, then router, then controller, then model, then view, then browser. So this is the first part of the interview, and the company name was the Neosoft and location is the Mumbai, and the interview date was the May 19, 2025. I will share the second part of this interview. Till then, bye.